You're gonna do right quick? Mr. Adams, would you please go get your client? The
I'll
bailiff
go
is
get
not
it,
here.
no problem.
Okay, we're on the record in cause number 327-814, the state of Texas versus Leonardo Martinez Perez. Mr. Perez, you can come forward with your attorney. Mr. Perez, okay, we have Mr.
Parece ahí donde está la X.
Okay, now, Ms. Renteria, would you please, raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Do you solemnly swear that you will accurately translate Spanish to English and English to Spanish? So, yes.
Okay. For the record, is your name, Leonardo Martinez Perez?
¿Ese es su nombre? Yes.
And, would you please raise your right hand?
¿Esa es su mano derecha?
Do you swear or affirm
¿Usted jura y afirma
to tell the truth,
decir la verdad,
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad que lo ayude Dios?
Okay, you may
Yes.
put your hand down.
Baje su mano.
How are you doing, Mr. Martinez Perez?
¿Cómo está? Good, thanks to God.
That's good. Mr. Perez, you're here with your attorney, Mr. Langston Adams.
Señor, usted está aquí con su abogado, el señor Langston Adams.
Mr. Adams, you have an announcement for the court?
Yes, Your Honor, we request to be on the trial back on this case.
Okay, this case is gonna be reset and placed on the trial docket.
Su caso lo van a posponer para otra fecha porque lo van a poner con una fecha para tener un juicio.
The attorney is gonna get you reset and you'll be free to go.
Le van a dar la próxima fecha a su abogado, así es que usted está libre para irse.
Okay,
All right, thank you, Judge.
all right, you're welcome.
Just wait for me outside.
All right, thanks a lot, Ms. Renteria.
You're welcome, Judge.
Okay. It's Bonham. Miss, let's see. We're on the record in cause number 324900, the state of Texas versus Jordan Malik Brannan. Mr. Brennan, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Brennan, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brennan, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Brennan?
I'm doing good, Your Honor. Happy New Year's to you.
Oh, well, thank you, and Happy New Year's to you as well, Mr. Brennan. Mr. Brennan, I have before me an information, and this information charges you with the offense of assault. Specifically, it states that on or about October 2nd of 2019, while you're in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the offense of assault, which is a Class A misdemeanor. Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge Mr. Brennan, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you're actually guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brennan, I have before me what has been marked as State's Exhibit Number 1. It's the misdemeanor plea admonishment. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Brennan, are these your initials down here?
Yes, sir.
And on page 3 of the same document, Mr. Brennan, is this your signature on line 1?
Yes, sir.
And the next document that I have before me, Mr. Brennan, is titled The Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, do we have a discovery certification?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Brennan, I also have before me what is titled the discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Bynum, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer States 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections, Mr. Bynum?
No objection.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Bynum, you have advised and counseled Mr. Brennan. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Brennan, your attorney, Mr. Bynum, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brennan, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 1 year deferred probation, 80 hours community service, contact with a Rayleigh Reed, that's spelled R-A-L-E-I-G-H, Reed.
Okay, could you repeat that that offer again?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 1 year deferred probation, 80 hours community service, and no contact with Rayleigh Reed.
Okay, so that's, let me do this here. I think that's Riley Moss Reed. That's what's in the information.
Yes, I think there's a middle name of Moss. I didn't include the middle name on the paper.
Okay, and so there's no fine, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
However, there is court costs.
He's also on felony probation. That's why I didn't include the fine.
Can I get a copy of the judgment? Okay, now, can I get a copy of the judgment? Yes. I know, I need to explain it to him. Mr. Brennan, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During this deferred probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. However, you will be required to pay court costs of $342. You will also be required to pay $60 probation fee. You'll be required to pay a $15 a year analysis fee. And you will also be required to pay court appointed fees of $250. That comes to a monthly total of installments of $130 per month. Now, would you be able to pay the $130 per month during this probationary period?
I mean, I'm paying like 200 something.
Your Honor, he's on felony probation, so I don't know if his probation fees would be slightly different since he's already on felony probation.
If that's the case, the probation fees, you're already paying probation fees, and so therefore, if I'm not mistaken, that he would not be required to pay the probation fee. Is that correct, Ms. Clerk, Madam Clerk? Okay, let me do this. Now, also as part of this plea bargain agreement, you'll be required to perform 40 hours of community service. And you
80.
can't, 80 hours of community service, and you cannot have any contact with Riley Reed. And I see here, Ms. Ramos, did you mention that this case will be running concurrent with the felony case?
I did not put that because he currently has the MTRP outstanding. That's Ms. Malfino's case. She had said that I could make this offer in this case, and then I'm not sure what's
The
happening.
reason I asked is because I saw it says that it was run concurrent in the,
Yes,
yeah,
Your Honor.
it was, where was it on the?
It was there at the bottom where it says run concurrent.
I had taken that off since, and that's what I messaged you about, Mr. Bynum, is that I can't, until something's taken care of down there, I can't put that in.
Okay, so let me ask you this, do y'all have a plea bargain agreement or not? If you, well, let me do this here. Let's go off the record.